Hello YouTube. You may remember Dante from my response video to Fire in the Dawn. She's a prominent outspoken feminist over at Experience Project. This person and I have been going round and round over there for over a year. I've been taking screenshots and have had screenshots emailed to me by other MRAs and anti-feminists of her activities for a while now. The time has now come to expose Dante to be the lying feminist that she is. I spent a lot of time sifting through screenshots and deciding which ones to use and which to exclude from this video. I have underlined the relevant parts of each screenshot. Please feel free to pause this video if you would like to read the entire screenshot. In this video we will take a look at her personality to reveal who and what she is. In this video you will see evidence of Dante covering for radical feminists including the femitheist and femin, blaming all men for rape, examples of personality disorders and mental instability, and lying. I hope you enjoy it. Let's get started. There are a few links in the low bar that I would like to talk about. First, there are 3 links dedicated to Dante's homophobia. What she does in these 3 stories is that she attaches the label of homosexual to mgtows. She does this through jokes and humor. I have no problem with jokes. I have no problem with politically incorrect jokes. I don't have a thin skin. Someone can make a joke about my sexual orientation, my race, my ethnicity, the fact that I'm a man, anything. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. And I believe that if you can't laugh at yourself, you have no business laughing at anyone else. However, when someone uses something like race or sexual orientation, when somebody uses a joke about that as a slur against someone else, then that is racism, homophobia, or whatever. And that's what Dante does. She uses the label of homosexual as a slur against mgtows. In a minute, we're going to look at Dante's views on rape. There's a link in the low bar to the story about how all men can stop rape. I don't believe I need to explain this. So take a look at the story and just see it for yourself. These are the links that I provided to Dante as proof of feminist violence. You will see 3 videos and 4 articles. The videos and still images will follow this screenshot. Dante denies that Femin acted in a violent manner. Then she attacks me for supposedly having contempt for autonomous women. Then she reverses the victim and the offender in the situation, saying that I am the one who is misrepresenting and sensationalizing the situation when in fact it's her. She also reverses the victim and the offender in the case of the videos. She claims that Femin is the victim when Femin is actually the offender, and the people that Femin attacked are actually the offender when they are really the victim. So deny, attack, reverse, victim, and offender. D.A.R.V.O. Voting not guilty, despite the fact that the evidence suggests that the defendant is guilty because you believe that the defendant did not receive a fair trial, is an example of committing violence. Yeah. Paul Elam has said that this article is satirical and is written as a response to an article posted on Jezebel. However, Dante seems to take offense to the idea that men should be able to defend themselves against a violent attacker if that violent attacker is a woman. Now, what was that bullshit feminists say about wanting men and women to be seen as equals? Pain, as in shining a bright light on these people and calling them out for their hate and bigotry in view of the public. I thought everyone was smart enough to get this. Well, almost everyone. Is Thomas Ball a martyr? Yeah, probably. Is he a hero? I personally don't think so. Thomas Ball is an example of what happens to men, how our justice system treats men, how our society views and treats men, how we ignore men's pain and suffering, how they are treated unfairly in our family court systems. That's what Thomas Ball is. Dante likes to use this poor man as an example of the MRM's violence and hatred. Let us not forget that when Thomas Ball felt that it was time for him to engage in violence, he turned that violence inward on himself. As I was beginning to work on this video, an anti-feminist named Lena challenged Dante to debate over the Experience project. As you will see in the screenshots, Lena challenged Dante to debate her on the topic of feminism in a neutral environment. I, being the helpful sort of guy that I am, created just such a place in the form of a story linked in the low bar. I was eager to watch Dante get her ass handed to her. It didn't happen. Dante chickened out. The link to the story that I set up for Dante and Lena to have their debate was deleted by the author of the story where Dante and Lena and myself were talking about the debate. Apparently, Dante's friend, Voodoo Candy, didn't like the fact that I was posting a link to the debate story on her story. Seemed like she wanted to protect Dante for some reason. Lena and I followed Dante over 3 different stories, trying to get Dante to engage in debate with Lena. One of those stories is written by Dante, one by Southern Dixie, and the other one by Voodoo Candy, who you've already met. You may be wondering why it was necessary for Lena and I to set up a neutral place for Dante and Lena to have this debate. Well, here's why. As you can see, Dante did everything in her power to weasel her way out of having to face Lena one-on-one in a neutral setting without her or her fellow feminists being able to control the conversation. Always surprised. In more recent events, Dante has filed a DMCA against one of my blog posts because I used an image supposedly of her in that blog post that is supposedly the property of a Japanese modeling agency. Links to the blog post and to a copy of the DMCA, which I have posted on my blog, are in the low bar. Dante also had this to say about the DMCA. If I'm not mistaken, doxing is posting someone's personal information like full name, phone number, address, employer's name and phone number, etc. All I did was post a picture that she had posted to her EP profile, a picture that was supposedly of Dante. Dante, if you don't want your pictures on the internet, then don't post them on the internet. I had dozens of other screenshots that I could have posted, but this video was already long enough. Dante, we have seen exactly who you are through your own words. We have seen that you are a mentally unstable person, a liar, a coward, and a gender, sexual orientation, and racial bigot. In other words, you're a feminist. You intentionally use deception to paint MRAs as violent while purposefully and willfully denying and refusing to accept the violence within feminism. You blame all men for rape, even male rape victims, with your bigoted cry, men can stop rape, which you can find in the low bar. You defend and support the violent and bigoted portions of your movement through your attempts to portray them as peaceful and benign. You attempt to shield people that have expressed a desire to commit genocide and infanticide from public scrutiny by portraying them as nonviolent. You consort with Scar Collector, who openly admits to being a member of a feminist organization that has committed multiple acts of violence. When asked to defend feminism in an honest and fair debate, you show yourself to be the chicken shit little bitch you are. You're mentally unstable and suffer from personality disorders. In other words, you're a feminist. We have seen you use the law as a weapon to silence people who call you out on your bullshit. Dante, I'm proving everything I will ever need to prove in this one video. There is no need for me to allow you to have a seat at the table of discussion. We don't need people like you gumming up the works while the rest of us discuss how to solve the problems in our society. Freedom is a right. Being considered to be credible is an honor that must be earned. It's an honor you have lost. I made this video for 3 reasons. First, to show the world who and what Dante is. Second, to show the world who and what the average feminist is. I also made this video so that anyone, anywhere, whoever comes in contact with this cunt can drop a link to this video into the conversation, thereby letting everyone know just exactly who they are dealing with. Dante, checkmate. Game over. You lost. Goodbye. Before I close this video, there's one more small matter to attend to. That being, of course, who's next? Wait just 1 minute. This is gonna be fun. Shit.